Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Soldiers attacked at Fort Stewart. New efforts to end the war in Ukraine. A massive investment by Apple, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. 5 soldiers were injured in a shooting at Georgia's Fort Stewart on Wednesday, prompting a temporary lockdown of the base and nearby schools. The suspected shooter, Sergeant Cornelius Radford, allegedly used his personal handgun during what officials described as a workplace incident in the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team area. He was tackled by other soldiers and apprehended within 40 minutes and is now in pretrial confinement. The victims are in stable condition and the motive remains unclear. Romania was forced to scramble F-16 jets after Russia carried out a strike just half a mile from the NATO nation's territory. The country's Ministry of National Defense confirmed in a post on X that Russia carried out a drone attack near its border. On the night of August 5th through 6th, the Russian forces launched a massive drone attack on the civilian infrastructure in the Izmaili area of Ukraine in the vicinity of the border with Romania, Romania's defense ministry wrote in the X post. The radar systems of the Ministry of National Defense detected air targets in Ukrainian space close to Tulsia County. At 1:10 a.m., the population in the north of the county was warned via RO Alert. The ministry added, RO Alert is Romania's official emergency warning system. President Trump raised tariffs on Indian goods to 50% on Wednesday, citing the country's continued imports of Russian oil as a help to Russia financing the war in Ukraine. The move follows an earlier 25% tariff and comes days before Trump's deadline for a Ukraine ceasefire. Meanwhile, Trump is preparing for a possible meeting with Russian President Putin to push for a peace deal, following Special Envoy Steve Witkoff's trip to Moscow this week. The White House says Trump is also open to talks with Ukrainian President Zelensky, though no date or location has been announced. An Israel Defense Forces veteran was targeted in what authorities said could be an anti-Semitic hate crime in Clayton, Missouri. 3 cars were torched and "Death to the IDF" was spray painted nearby. Police are investigating, and Jewish groups condemned the attack as part of a broader surge of anti-Semitic violence that has surged since October 7th, 2023. President Trump threatened to have the federal government take control of Washington, D.C. after an assault on a well-known original staffer for the Department of Government Efficiency in the nation's capital occurred over the weekend. Edward Korestein, also known by his online name of Big Balls, and a woman characterized in a police report as his significant other, were the victims of an unarmed attempt at carjacking early Sunday. Washington Metropolitan Police on Tuesday announced the arrests of 2 15-year-old suspects from Maryland. In a social media post that did not mention Korestein by name, Trump described crime in Washington as being totally out of control. RFK Jr. has pulled $500 million of mRNA vaccine funding. The U.S. Health Secretary canceled 22 projects related to mRNA vaccines and is taking other steps to divest federal funding from the vaccine technology. In a video posted to X, Kennedy said, after reviewing the science and consulting top experts at NIH and FDA, HHS has determined that mRNA technology poses more risks than benefits for these respiratory viruses. Dr. Jerome Adams, who served as the Surgeon General during Trump's first term, said on X, I've tried to be objective and non-alarmist in response to current HHS actions, but quite frankly, this move is going to cost lives. mRNA technology has uses that go far beyond vaccines, and the vaccine they helped develop in record time is credited with saving millions. Tech giant Apple is poised to announce a new investment of $100 billion in U.S. facilities, the White House said on Wednesday. National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said that companies are moving here in droves, which is why we've got trillions and trillions of dollars of commitments for people to build new factories here. In fact, you're likely to see one today from Apple. The White House said that the announcement will include an additional $100 billion investment by Apple, which will bring the company's planned U.S. investments over the next 4 years to a new total of $600 billion. President Trump's America First economic agenda has secured trillions of dollars in investments that support American jobs and bolster American businesses, said White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers. Today's announcement with Apple is another win for our manufacturing industry that will simultaneously help reshore the production of critical components to protect America's economic and national security. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.